The Nigerian government has begun a power system simulation training program as part of the pre-engineering phase of the Presidential Power Initiative, also known as PPI. It aims to boost the capacity of staff of electricity transmission and distribution companies as a means of solving the problems associated with transmission and distribution of electricity in the country. The training, which is in partnership with the German government, aims to provide constant and affordable electricity to Nigerians. Well, the Presidential Power Initiative, which began in 2021, is scheduled for completion in 2025 and powered by Siemens. The project, which is in 3 phases, covers the upgrading and expansion of the transmission and distribution networks of Nigeria. The first phase of the project will go on for a period of 10 months with an end goal of pushing the power supply to 7,000 megawatts.
Training that we're doing today is to upskill the relevant participants in the power sector to be able to cope with the new demands of skills in the power sector in Nigeria. This is just the first training. There will be several others in various tranches addressing various specific capacity needs in the power sector.
The grid capacity currently is at about 5,000 megawatts. We're going to be adding an additional 2,000 megawatts to the grid in the first phase of the PPI. Secondly, I think we're going to improve it by yet another additional 4,000 megawatts. And then we will ramp up from there from 11,000 megawatts to 25,000 megawatts in the subsequent phases of the PPI. There is a module called, or a training called Network Development Studies. Siemens has proprietary software that it has already that we've already purchased, we've already deployed to distribution companies, transmission company, and to our trainers, NAPTIN, and to other power sector players like NERC. The important thing is for the training to happen to enable our engineers in a coherent manner work together to ensure that the development of this sector happens in a way that is sustainable.
All right, for more on this, I'm joined by Kenny Anuwe, the MD CEO of the FGN Power Company, or Federal Government of Nigeria Power Company, right? Thank you so much for joining us on Newsnight.
Thank you.
Well, the deal was signed as far back as 2019, and one wonders exactly why it's taken this long for it to, take off. Help us understand the scope of this deal and why the choice of Siemens, really.
Thank you, Ngozi, for having me, first of all. Yeah. So Siemens obviously is a world-class company that comes with a lot of experience. They have proven the experience in the work that they did with Egypt by ramping up their capacities by about 14,000 megawatts. So, and this is just in one particular area in terms of the capacity improvements. But Mr. President Buhari decided that Siemens was the right partner on this, as you rightly pointed out, far back 2019, because they have the right capacities, they have the right experience, they have the right, ability to quickly mobilize to implement the program.
Were there bottlenecks? Does that explain why it's taken this long, or what exactly took this long?
I think the world itself came to a very slow motion, or if you like, a standstill. 2019, 2020 with the COVID-19, there were significant challenges in that area. But what government did in response was to put together, if you like, a very clear arrangement for governance in the program, and set up the special purpose vehicle, which is called the FGN Power Company, of which I'm the MD, and a board for the FGN Power Company that is actually chaired by the Honorable Minister of Finance. The Honorable Minister of Power is also a member of the board, as well as the Minister of Works and Housing, and of course the the AGF of Nigeria. He's also a part
As the
of the
Attorney
board,
General of the
Attorney
Federation.
General
Okay.
and the BP DG. So this arrangement allows it to have a sustainable basis for progressing in the future.
How do you reassure investors? I believe investors will be coming in, or is it just the Nigerian government, Siemens? And we hear also with the German government. Will there be other private investors who will come in? And how do you guarantee, that enabling environment for them to thrive so that the mistakes with the discos and, the other electricity value chain are avoided?
So, Ngozi, the way that this works is that the federal government is actually backstopping the investments by the FGN Power Company. Now, the costs of all of the investments, which total up to about between 2.3 and 2.6 billion euros, will be, as I said, backstopped by the federal government. However, the funds will be unlent to the distribution companies and the transmission company, which will pay back these funds in due time, over a long term.
Okay, that's great to know. But the fundamental question is the how you hope to achieve this 4,000 megawatts where we hovering around to, is it 25,000 megawatts? How is that going to be achieved and how soon?
Yeah. So the first phase, the project is actually segmented in phases. In the first phase, there's a 2,000 megawatt increment in terms of capacity. This includes both, if you like, new projects and capacity improvements in existing projects, which we call brownfields and greenfields, respectively. So this will happen over the next year and a half to conclude on the phase one. So you can imagine the complexities of it, which will include things like almost 3,000 transformers in the distribution sector, about 56 different new substations, about 42 different substations that will be increasing capacity in that area as well. So it's a very large, very complex program. And the good thing is that our implementing partners, Siemens, have done this before. But government is determined. I want to assure Nigerians that government is absolutely determined to make this work.
But are you going to be relying on the infrastructure that's on ground now, that's been described to a very large extent as dilapidated, or are you going to be phasing those off entirely?
So yes, we are embarking on a modernization program. So first of all, we'll be upgrading the existing infrastructure where there needs to be changes. We've already ordered some equipment. The Federal Executive Council in December approved the purchases of mobile substations and transformers, which will be utilized initially until the other projects in the pipeline come to fruition.
All right, we're looking forward to that so desperately. Uninterrupted power supply in Nigeria sooner than later. Thank you so much, Kenny Anuwe, as Managing Director, Chief Executive Officer of FGN Power Company. Do stay with us, there's more to come.